Welcome to the Scientific Aviation SOOFIE Install video guide. On page 3 of your install guide, you will find the list of parts and required tools. Before beginning each section of the install, we recommend that you locate parts and tools needed. You may find a small bin or container useful, as many of the hardware pieces are small and round. If applicable to your install, the anemometer is the first component to be assembled and mounted. Note that not all SOOFIE sensors include an anemometer. Please skip to the 5-minute 10-second timestamp if not installing an anemometer. First, insert the larger end of the anemometer cable into the base of the anemometer. Notches on the end of the cable will slide into divots in the anemometer receptacle. After the cable end is fully inserted, rotate the outer sleeve on the cable several turns until it clicks into place. You should hear or feel a click, indicating the lock mechanism is engaged. Next, turn the anemometer over and thread the outer end of the cable through the stub. The end of the stub with 3 drilled holes should be closest to the anemometer. Attach the stub to the anemometer base by aligning the 3 holes and inserting and tightening the provided panhead Phillips machine screws. In order to provide accurate wind speed and direction, the anemometer must be mounted facing true north. True north can be found using a compass application on your mobile device. Be sure to change the settings to point to true north. If using a magnetic compass, make sure to account for the magnetic variation between magnetic north and true north for your install location. After you've located true north, mount the anemometer on the south side of the pole, with the red arrow facing north. Try to align the black base of the anemometer with the top of the pole. Use the 2 hose clamps to secure the anemometer stub to the pole. Space the clamps evenly along the stub and keep both fastening mechanisms on the same side. Next, measuring from the top of the pole, mark the pole at 6 inches, 13.5 inches, and 29.5 inches. We recommend assembling the solar panel brackets on a table. If assembling on the ground, be sure to clear the area of rocks and other debris. Attach the upper bracket to the solar panel using the provided hex head bolts, lock washers, and nuts. Make sure the orientation of the bracket matches that shown in the video. Next, we will attach the 2 lower brackets and unistrut channel. You may want to have a partner support the brackets as you attach them to avoid warping the solar panel frame. To attach the unistrut channel, you will need to thread the 1.75-inch hex head bolts through the hole in the bracket, the large hole in the unistrut channel, and a square unistrut washer on each side. Secure the assembly with lock washers and nuts. Continue supporting the lower brackets and unistrut while tightening the nuts to avoid bending the solar panel frame. Next, we will mount the solar panel assembly on the pole. 2 people are needed for this task, one to hold the assembly and one to secure the unistrut clamps and U-bolt. Begin by placing the solar panel assembly on the ground at the base of the pole, facing south. Before lifting the panel off the ground, position the U-bolt around the pole, through the 2 holes in the upper mounting bracket, and through the 2 holes in the rectangular U-bolt mounting bracket. Add washers and loosely thread nuts on each end of the U-bolt. Do not tighten the nuts fully. Slide the assembly up the pole until the U-bolt is lined up with the mark at 13.5 inches, and tighten the U-bolt nuts. Have your partner support the solar panel while tightening the nuts. Next, attach the unistrut connected to the 2 lower solar panel brackets to the pole. Make sure both brackets and the unistrut are level, and then, with your partner holding the unistrut in place, insert the 2 unistrut clamps on either side of the pole. Loosely thread the nut and bolt through the holes in the clamps. Ensure the solar panel is facing south and then tighten the nut and bolt. Turn the SOOFIE sensor so that the side with the Scientific Aviation logo is facing down. Place the two unistrut channels over the holes at the top and bottom of the SOOFIE enclosure. Make sure the orientation of the square washers matches that shown in the video. Next, place the 4 square unistrut washers at each end of the unistruts. Place a split ring lock washer, followed by a flat washer, onto a long panhead screw. Then thread the screw through the square unistrut washer, the unistrut, and the hole in the corner of the SOOFIE enclosure. Hand tighten the screw and repeat for the remaining 3 corners. After the screws are threaded in each corner, tighten all 4 screws. Position the SOOFIE sensor on the north side of the pole, with the top of the sensor lined up with the 6-inch mark. The sensor should be oriented so that the Scientific Aviation logo is facing right side up. While your partner is supporting the SOOFIE sensor, attach the enclosure to the pole by inserting 2 unistrut clamps into the upper unistrut. Thread the screw through the holes in the clamps and tighten with the bolt. Repeat for the bottom unistrut. To power up the unit, a fuse must be inserted to complete the internal battery circuit. First, insert the fuse into the fuse cap. Then, insert the fuse into the left-hand fuse receptacle and rotate 1/4 turn clockwise. Gently tug on the fuse cap to ensure it is locked in place. A fan sound should be audible, indicating the SOOFIE unit has been powered on. Next, insert the loose end of the anemometer cable into the M8 receptacle, also on the left-hand side. After fully inserted, hand tighten the threaded barrel on the end of the cable. When screwed in properly, you will see a sliver of green underneath the barrel. To connect the solar panel, insert the plus and minus ends of the cables into the MC4 receptacles on the SOOFIE enclosure. Finally, insert the second fuse with fuse cap into the right-hand fuse receptacle and rotate 1/4 turn to lock. Secure the loose cables to the pole with zip ties. Your SOOFIE system is now set up and ready to collect data. For SOOFIE to start detecting methane emissions and identifying emission sources, you will need to register the unit and geotag each site component using the SOOFIE iOS app. First, download the app and confirm that the iOS default Mail app is installed and configured on your device. Next, open the app and type the name of your site into the Site Name field. Then, click the camera button and scan the barcode on the installed SOOFIE enclosure. The name of the site and GPS coordinates should now appear in the Devices field. If there are multiple SOOFIE sensors on the site, repeat this process for all sensors. Each facility component must also be geotagged. Walk to each component, type a unique name into the component field, and click the plus sign button to add it to the database. Repeat for each component on the site. The last step is to click the email icon. An automatically generated email to soofie@scientificaviation.com will appear. Review the email to make sure the information, including device names and component names, are correct, and then click the up arrow button to send. The site data is now uploaded and your SOOFIE sensors are now monitoring the site for methane emissions.